As I said, every evening we have a special Hanukah that has a story attached to it. And this evening we have representatives of the family of the person that created this Hanukah in Westerbork in Holland. The wooden menorah that you're seeing right now, and you're seeing over here, right over here on the stand, it was made by Zedek Sheinowitz in 1940 in the Westerbork camp. Afterwards, if you want to come up, you can't do it now, you'll see that he actually engraved his name, Sheinowitz, Westerbork, 1940, on this wooden Hanukah. The Sheinowitz family came to the Netherlands as refugees from Leipzig, Germany, and they were sent to Westerbork. Zedek and you see the picture of Zedek here lighting a different Hanukah, the red arrow. That's Nachman. Sorry, that's Nachman. That's his son. Zedek Nachman's father crafted the simple menorah from plywood in 1940 in Westerbork. Zedek was a baker in the camp, and his profession allowed him to save his entire family. Nachman Sheinowitz was in Westerbork between the ages of 14 and 19. And you can see Nachman's picture, as I mentioned. He worked in the clothing warehouse, sorting and fixing clothes. He was supposed to be sent on one of the transports to the east, but his mother asked him to stay with her after she underwent surgery, and he received special permission to stay in the camp. In 1942, when Westerbork became a concentration camp and deportations began, the family managed to survive in the camp until its liberation on April 12, 1945. Westerbork was liberated by Canadian soldiers. The picture here, Nachman with his parents, Zedek and Gintel, and you see the picture on the desk there is Mia, Hanale, Nesia, and Zuzi, the four sisters that were sent to England with the Kindertransport after having been hidden in an orphanage in Amsterdam. Among the letters that we found in Yad Vashem is a letter sent by the sister Hanale. Nachman and his parents received this letter from the Red Cross a year after it was sent. This menorah was donated by Dvorah and Nachman Sheinowitz from Petach Tikva. Nachman has passed away. This is Dvorah Sheinowitz in 2010. And this is a more recent picture. And the newest great-grandson, Niria, that's what, 2 weeks old? And you have here Yaakov and Miri Sheinowitz, and the families of the other sisters, the Gutwein family, and the Yered family as well here. Now, when I got the phone number for Yaakov, he was the contact person I had, and I told him that we've decided here to light this Hanukah on the 5th night of Hanukkah for you. I said, Yaakov, bring family. I thought I'd bring a few people. Can all of the Sheinowitz clan please stand up? Please stand up. We brought just a few of the entire clan. This was almost a logistics nightmare to get them all here, but we wanted to welcome them and to honor them and their family in lighting this particular Hanukah. And I'm now going to ask that the entire clan come up here, please. We have 4 generations. I need you to come up here because you're going to light the Hanukah. And we're going to ask, we have here the IDF Deputy Chief Cantor, Captain Reserve Daniel Colthof, and members of the Sheinowitz family to come up, please, to light the candles for the 5th night of Hanukkah. Please. I need everybody. Daniel? Where's Daniel?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של חנוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
Please be seated. And as the family take their places back, I was invited to sing a song or two. And this amazing story about this menorah that survived the Holocaust reminded me of a very nice song by Maurice Rosenfeld that was translated from Yiddish to Hebrew. O ihr kleine Lichter, נרותיי הזעירים, מה רבו הסיפורים, לי ילאת האור, לי ילאת האור, על דמים וכישלונות, על תרועות של ניצחונות, על קרבות של דרור, על קרבות של דרור. The meaning is that the lights of the menorah remind us of the stories and the history of our nation, and they remind us of bloodshed and of failures and of dark times of our nation, but also about battles of freedom. And the freedom, this menorah represents the freedom of spirit of our nation, that no matter what might be thrown on us, upon us, we always remain free in our mind, in our spirit. And I would like to sing this song I will sing it in Hebrew. Nerotai hazeirim, marabu hasipurim, lil'at haor, lil'at haor, al damim v'chishlonot, al תרועות של ניצחונות, על קרבות של דרור, על קרבות של דרור. את אורכם הקט, יעתני צל גלת, כל אלה יקרא, כל אלה יקרא, ישראל שבעת הקרב, אפס גם ידעת רב, עוז ותפארת, עוז ותפארת. נרותיי הזעירים, הם סיפרו לי סיפורים, על עבר של עם, על עבר של עם, ואשמע כל נר ונר, לי קורא קום התעורר, עם חייו הקם, עם חייו הקם. What we see here is Am Chayav Hakam. So please join me in a more merrier song of Hanukkah that you all know. Yemei Hanukah, Hanukah, Mikdasheinu, Megilu B'simcha, V'nanim V'tivleinu, L'Hayla Hayom Sivoneinu Yisod, Suv Maniyot Nochal Manahom, Ha'inu, נרות חנוכה רבים, על הניסים ועל הנפלאות אשר חוללו המכבים, על הניסים ועל הנפלאות אשר חוללו המכבים. זיכרון המכבים נספר נספרה, על האויבים ידם כגברה, ירושלים לנו הבירה, נס ישראל שירו נא את שירה, הגירו, הליקו, נרות חנוכה רבים, על הניסים ועל הנפלאות אשר חוללו המכבים, על הניסים ועל הנפלאות אשר חוללו המכבים. The last words are Yerushalayim lanu habira, Jerusalem is our capital. Nes Yisrael, the miracle of Israel, Shiru et Shira, sing her song. So we are in Jerusalem and we are in Hanukkah, the festival of lights. Let's sing all together Yerushalayim shel zahav, v'shel nechoshet, v'shel or. אוויר הרים צלול כיין, וריח אורנים, נישא ברוח ארבעים, עם כל פעמונים, ובתרדמת אילן באבן, שרויה בחלומה, העיר אשר בדד יושבת, ובליבה
Thank you, Dana. We have a very special guest with us this evening. And we decided to bring this very unique story with everything that we're hearing about and learning about the righteous among the nations. I'm going to introduce to you a very special person. His name is Reverend Chris Edmonds. He's from Maryville, Tennessee. He's a graduate of one of our seminars that we have for Christian leadership here at Yad Vashem from December 2015, a year ago. He's going to tell us tonight a story about his father, Master Sergeant Roddie Edmonds. Please.
Thank you, Ephraim. Shalom, y'all. As you can tell, I'm not from around here. I'm from southern Israel. I do want to correct something before I begin. Where I come from, it's not Maryville, Tennessee. It's Merle. So turn to someone and say Merle. Say, how y'all doing? That's great. Congratulations, you're now official East Tennessee Hillbillies. Welcome to my family. Well, it's a great honor to be here with you, to be a part of this beautiful, miraculous land we call Israel. It is a great, great country. And yes, go ahead, it is. With some of the best educators on the planet. Can I get a witness? Yes. Enjoying my Yad Vashem family. Really, it's an incredible family to be a part of. A family that me and my family deeply cherish. Let's give some love to Ephraim, the Yad Vashem staff, and the incredible educators and speakers that they've had. This conference has been terrific, has it not? Let's give them some love. I know all of us are grateful to Yad Vashem for honoring the millions of incredible, precious lives that were lost during the Shoah. And we are so grateful that Yad Vashem inspires us and gives us the wonderful, inspiring survivors. They also honor our righteous, which is an incredible honor, and celebrate our liberators. So thank you, Yad Vashem, for inspiring the world. You're making our world a better and brighter place. We are grateful. More personally, I want to thank you, Yad Vashem, for honoring my father with the great honor of righteous among the nations. It is an honor our family deeply cherishes. My story begins with an old diary, a weathered, fragile book. The diary belonged to a young man from Tennessee, fighting for his country on a continent near the edge of collapse. Its owner, my father, passed away years earlier. Since then, the diary remains just tucked away with other mementos from his time in service during World War II. he had served with distinction. Master Sergeant Roddie Edmonds of the 106th Infantry was captured during the Battle of the Bulge and spent 100 harsh days in 2 German prisoner of war camps toward the end of the war. Now, this was the story our family knew. To us, it was the totality of his service. Service he never, ever talked about. While reading Dad's diary one evening, many years after his passing, his words touched my heart. In it, Dad wrote this: "A lot of things I'm not going to write because they're not exactly nice to talk about. I know God was with us, and he answered our prayers. I learned men even better than before. Some were good, some were bad, some were better, some were worse." Well, Dad's diary inspired me to look further into his service and uncover the true story of his time as a prisoner of war. One evening, just past midnight, I searched Dad's name and rank on my computer. Remarkably, Dad's name appeared in a New York Times article entitled "Richard Nixon's Search for a New York Home." Now, the article recounts how an attorney named Lester Tanner sold his historic townhouse to the president during the 1970s. In the article, Mr. Tanner mentions the bravery of his Master Sergeant, Roddie Edmonds. Well, I'm stunned. Wouldn't you be? Why is Dad's name in this article about President Nixon? Who's Lester Tanner? What does he mean by bravery? Is Mr. Tanner still alive? And if so, where is he? Well, I find him in New York. Now get the picture. An East Tennessee hillbilly headed to New York City for the first time. "Hey, baby doll. Hey, sweetie pie. We're going to New York City. Woo! You better pack some shoes, girl." Well, like Dad, Mr. Tanner was an American who served with honor during World War II. When I met Lester, he told me the true story of my father's time as a prisoner of war. Dad was the highest-ranking American soldier in Stalag 9A, a POW camp for non-commissioned officers near Ziegenhain, Germany. It was near the end of the war, late January 1945. The Nazis had strict anti-Jew policies in the POW camps, segregating Jewish POWs from non-Jews, sending them to certain death in murderous labor camps. American Jewish soldiers were told if they fell into enemy hands to destroy their dog tags and any mention of their Jewish identity. Late on the evening of January 26, the Nazis ordered my father to send out only the Jewish soldiers at the next morning's roll call. Without hesitation, my dad turned to his men and said, "We're not doing that. Tomorrow morning, we all fall out." And that's what they did. It was bitterly cold that morning, January 27, 1945. As the ruthless commander approached, he could not believe his eyes. All of the Americans, nearly 1,300 soldiers, were standing in sharp formation. Enraged, the German major stormed over to my father, and he said, "They cannot all be Jews." To which my father replied, "We are all Jews here." Thank you. Well, as you can imagine, the Nazi officer lunged forward. He was enraged. He pressed his pistol hard into my dad's forehead. "One last chance, Sergeant. You will order the Jewish prisoners to step forward, or I will shoot you right now." Well, by this point, Dad and his men had suffered untold horrors. Brutal battle, a death march, bombing while imprisoned in a boxcar, 40 days of starvation, being beaten, bitten by dogs, kicked, shot, and the only word Dad would describe his time there, humiliated. Just 2 days earlier, Dad and his men witnessed the savage execution of a young Russian soldier. and was told the same would happen to them if they disobeyed Nazi orders. Yet their dad and his men stood strong, fearless, resolute. Finally, my father spoke. He said, "Major," really calmly, confidently, he said, "Major, if you shoot me, you'll have to kill all of us because we know who you are. You'll stand for war crimes when we win this war, and you will pay." Well, the Nazi blanched, and he began to tremble, still pressing the gun to my dad's forehead. Then suddenly and without warning, he pulled the gun to his side and fled the scene. According to Lester and other witnesses, Dad saved the lives of nearly 200 Jewish American soldiers that day. Now listen to this. Lester said from that moment on, he said, it made you brave. He said, for the rest of my life, I committed to do what was right, to live by the values and character that my dad demonstrated that day in 1945. He said, regardless of the consequences, regardless of the risk, I was going to do what was right. And then Lester grinned. He said, you know, for a New York City lawyer, that's kind of hard sometimes. Well, last December, I made my first visit to Israel, as Ephraim said. And for a pastor, that's a dream come true. I love Israel, and I've always wanted to come. Well, while here, Yad Vashem and the nation of Israel announced that my father would be named righteous among the nations. Dad is on, hold up your hand. Give me a 5. Dad is only the 5th American to receive this award. Now give me a 1. I'm trying to keep you awake, folks. Give me a 1. Dad is the first U.S. soldier to receive this incredible honor. One more 1. Dad is the first of the righteous recognized for saving American Jews. Well, the ceremony to honor Dad, another American, Lois Gundin, and the Zbiewskis of Poland, was hosted by Ambassador Dermer. For the first time, it was given at the Israeli Embassy in Washington, D.C. on January 27th of this past year, 2016. Exactly 71 years to the day of that fateful, heroic morning. In attendance were Rabbi Lau, Mr. Leonard Wilf, and Mr. Ron Meyer of American Yad Vashem, and Ron and his lovely wife are here. Where are you at, Ron? They're attending this conference. Wave at everybody. There he is, right back there. Yeah, give him a hand. My Tennessee senators, and to top it off, Prime Minister Netanyahu Skyped in from Israel. How cool is that? If that wasn't enough, special guest President Obama made an unprecedented visit to the embassy and brought his close special friend, Mr. Steven Spielberg. You wish you were there now, don't you? It was a remarkable evening. I guess I can take off my bucket list, warming up the crowd for Mr. Spielberg and President Obama. I hope the next remarkable ceremony will be at the White House when Dad receives the Congressional Medal of Honor. I think he deserves it. How about you? My family and I are very, very proud of Dad. Proud of the choices he made and the life he lived. We're blessed to have learned his story. But we're even more blessed to have met some of the men and the families he saved. You see, the gentleman on the left is Sonny Fox. And then the gentleman next to him is Lester Tanner. Sonny's from California, Lester's from New York. You see Ambassador Dermer. Seated is Paul Stern. He's from Virginia. And then that's his lovely wife, Corinne, with that other guy over there. Now that's Dad's legacy. And there were two other men and their families who could not attend. Skip Friedman of Cleveland, Ohio, and Henry Hank Friedman of Georgia. Dad's legacy are these men and their children and their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren and generations to come. Thousands of people are alive and well today because of Dad's righteous actions. Being honored as righteous is a fitting tribute to Dad, a sincere Christian who had an infectious love for everyone. Dad joins a small minority of ordinary people, don't miss that, people like you and me, who mustered extraordinary courage to uphold the goodness and dignity of humanity. In a defining moment, when evil demanded their conscience and their very souls, they refused to bow and refused to join the masses. Instead, they chose what is right, regardless of the risk, regardless of the consequences. Now, what they chose is right today, it's right tomorrow, it's right always. So our duty is to take strength from their example and resolve to live as they did, laying down one's life for the dignity and freedom of others. So before I go, I just want to share my heart. Dad's life was guided by a deep moral and spiritual code. He lived by one eternal truth, that there is a God and that God is good. And God's love, though free, has one essential responsibility. We must be good to one another. Or as Jesus proclaimed, we must love one another. You see, we are our brother's keeper. The Talmud teaches us the same. He who saves one human being is as if he saved the entire world. Now, gratefully, Dad and the righteous loved others well and helped save our world. We must do the same. Our world is still dark and foreboding. It desperately needs ordinary people like you and me. People who will live with courage and honor and self-sacrifice. Ordinary people who choose to live heroic by choosing good over evil, right instead of wrong, love instead of hate, self-sacrifice, not self-interest. People who stand together like all of those men did for all that is right and decent and good. That's why I stand with you tonight, as do millions of other Christians like me around the world. We love Israel, we love Yad Vashem, we love you, and we will always stand with you. And together, we must love others together. So, I'll wrap this up. You know, Dad was right. In war and life, you really do find out who men and women are. And my father, he's a hero. And you can be too. So grab your cape from your closet. Go save your world. I want to thank you, Yad Vashem, for loving my dad and for giving Dad the highest honor I believe he will ever receive this side of eternity. I want to thank all of y'all for allowing me to share Dad's story. May our great God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, bless you with his everlasting love and mercy. Shalom, y'all. Thank you very much.
He is.
I don't think there could be any more significant words in a sea of darkness, the righteous with the lights that helped to save helpless and defenseless Jews during the Holocaust. Thank you, Reverend Chris Edmonds, for your words, your inspiration. We appreciate that.